Personal experience of working with a superstar and his family while studying social media marketing and PR at a reputed Ivy League university in the West. Suddenly, due to a death of someone in my immediate family at the end of last year, I had to take up a gap year and move to India to help my aged grandparent with doctor appointments due to a life-threatening illness in its final stage, and my parents couldn't travel due to the nature of their jobs. Moving to Mumbai, India, for a year initially felt like a fun experience that I could finally live in the city I spent my childhood holidays in. So I decided that since I was going to be here for a year, I would take up an internship to help my credit score through my gap year. And through a few mutual friends I landed up getting the job I never even dreamt would be possible. I got to be a part of the Superstars team I fanned over since I was a kid. Initially, the experience of working with his team was overwhelming, and it took me a few days to adjust into a professional environment because I was so starstruck whenever he was around. But working with his social media team that has been working for him and his family for years felt very unproductive, and initially it felt like it was the adjustment of working in another country that would take time, and I was overthinking everything. The first untoward incident happened a month into my internship where I had to work late hours, and I was fine by that, but I needed to make a call home to inform that I would be running late and let my family know of my location, but instead I was stopped by the person in charge of my division that I wouldn't be allowed to use my phone as it would be considered breach of the star's privacy since it was a private event. In a city that isn't my first home, my parents were worried about not being informed. Initially I felt it was just a way of working in the showbiz industry, so let it shrug off. During mid of last year, my situation at work worsened with late nights and not getting days off since I needed to take a day off every 2 weeks due to the treatment and hospital visits with my grandparent, which I had informed my senior before I started working and which was agreed upon. Every time I asked for genuine leave for hospital visits I was turned down. And genuinely there was hardly much work that couldn't have been handled from home except putting up stories, informing paps about the locations of the star and his family that were most of the time not even true, the stories. Or stories about a competing star or upcoming actor. The hate the social media team spread on other younger outsider stars is unfathomable just to promote their own young talent, which is clearly equivalent to zero. The wife is the worst of the family members. She treats everyone, including her own friends, who are recognized faces in the movie business, like minions and expects the world to revolve around her. Everyone working for her is supposed to be a yes man, however bizarre her ideas may seem. And worse, her fashion sense, though she always have very mortifying things to say about everyone's dressing sense. Professionally she has no vision with her business firm and is just outsourcing products and overly pricing them and expecting to be praised by everyone who works for her. Her new business venture opening was a disaster, as a well-renowned critic who was invited with all honesty did not want to buttercoat their review, and that did not sit well with her, so much so, that she threw a fit and even asked her team to ruin the critic's career if the review was not in her favor. Even though I belong to a family of high-level bureaucrats who work for the international governments, I have never faced this sort of elitist vibes even from white supremacists. In a particular incident I remember she and a friend of hers, who is part of a recent shit show Netflix show, laughed and mocked at my colleague due to her South Indian accent. Everything about working for her was a nightmare which every intern, who is looking to make a career in the showbiz industry, should avoid. The daughter, almost everything you see and hear about her on the internet is mostly PR curated. From family, friends and upcoming actors being briefed by her PR team to mention a few good things about her upbringing to the narrative of her being a victim to colorism is all far stretched. Due to her insecurities with her own talent and beauty, I have seen her lash out at people who are working in her team, even while mentioning a younger actress who is getting the media attention. Her claims of not doing any skin lightening and minimal surgeries is completely untrue, and she undergoes weekly skin lightening treatments. Her relationship with her debut co-star is a very thought-out, PR-approved, family-approved, business decision. The insecurities are so far stretched that even a slightly above-looking fair-skinned half-desi like me can make her insecure, and I was asked to not wear too much makeup to a work event as I was told by my senior I am not the star and shouldn't try acting like one. The Sun, I cannot confirm this as I was not part of the production unit, but heard it from someone who is part of it, that his entire web series was ghost-directed and written by a very talented newcomer who was immediately given another project under the production to keep the talent from spilling the beans. But I can confirm that every relationship rumor is part of his own PR, and however ridiculous this may sound, but I doubt he himself knows who he actually is with, since his relationships change every week. In April, the story with the Brazilian model was put out by her team, but his PR decided to let it play as it was keeping him in the news till it backfired and some drug links were found, and they tried to brush the story by putting out a new name. Some girl who is the daughter of a European billionaire and they have mutual friends, attended the Ambani wedding as part of a friend group, but when some friend of hers clarified that the girl is engaged to someone who is European royalty for 10 years, the PR team was put in overdrive to make it seem like the girl was the one spreading the rumors. Nothing in his business ventures is his own creative ideas. There are teams working on everything and every award is being bought. The star, this one is the hardest for me to express since I have always been a die-hard fan and working with him was a dream I never thought would ever happen. But I finally have to agree to the saying never meet your idol because you will be disappointed. He is a genuinely nice person when it comes to treating his staff well and making them feel welcomed initially but overly strategic with every move. Everything is so carefully curated that the human experience is taken out and the only thing left is a spectacularly perfect marketing strategy. Every call to congratulate a new talent or appreciate someone's work is planned and then the person who received the call or appreciation is asked to speak about it in interviews or podcasts. My last working experience with the team was the reason I do not think I would ever want to work again in Bollywood. A week before the star's birthday, which I had heard is usually a very grand affair since fans flock to meet him outside his house, I lost my grandparent due to the illness and was having a hard time dealing with my loss but was asked to come back to work 3 days later since the star's birthday is usually a very important PR move every year. 2 nights consecutively leading to the birthday the star and his family were attending Diwali parties at other Bollywood celebrities' homes. As part of the star's PR team, a few of us were asked to inform a few fan club pages that the star will make his appearance to greet his fans, but we hardly got any positive response as a lot of people and fans were upset about the star's absence from a famous politician's funeral, though the politician was a close family friend and helped the star and his family during their troubled times. By 11 a.m. on the day of the birthday, when we informed our senior that there won't be much fans gathering outside the star's house like every year, we were felt in shock over the meltdown and frustration of the star and his closest management on how useless we were in helping him project his stardom. Then we were asked to inform a few celebrity gossip sites that due to security reasons the star would not make his presence and would only attend the fan event which was planned months ago, which did not have much hype as was expected. For a week after that, working with the star and his management was hell, will constant outburst from them, and since I was going through personal loss as well, I decided to quit my internship finally. This may not be everyone's situation working with the star and his family, but I hope no one has to go through what I faced as a newcomer into an industry that is anyways very difficult to make a place in. I do agree, as an intern I had my own shortcomings and I have a lot of learning to do. But I would prefer not working with stars whose stardom is only based on validation curated by their PR teams who are so insecure, and preferably never Bollywood again.